YouTube. YouTube chat will be acknowledged today. I'm wearing sunglasses because I got a headache. My eyes are not okay. I'm gonna be honest. They are not okay. Yesterday I had anticipated a lot more. I'd anticipated that I would be doing a lot more stuff yesterday, but I unfortunately ended up having to survive. I think I don't know if I have a migraine. I don't know what this gets categorized as, but sometimes I think sometimes I get really bad eye strain, especially when I stream and or I feel like in my office, because I often have everything closed out, and so there's nothing far away for me to look at. But yeah, so I got eye strain. I have one of my eyes is like almost completely bloodshot. So we're gonna do a bit of a shorter stream today, but I do have some goals I want to get to. But chill, you gotta wait for people to show up first before you give the Lord. Okay, I'll repeat myself in a bit. I gotta do it immediately for YouTube though. Otherwise YouTube's gonna be like, what's even the point of being here? What's even the freaking point? Yo, Hinsey, how's it going? How's it going? Nice to see you. What's the lore for the cool sunnies? You know how it is. We're waiting for the people to show up. Yeah, I look extra cool today because I got a headache. I'm very sensitive to light right now. So we got sunnies on, ready to rock and roll and learn some Rust. I mean, I think that can fix my headache. I think that'll do the trick. I was kind of frustrated because I was hoping to stream off of my desktop PC today, but I had to give up on that dream because I couldn't get the outputs to what I wanted them to be. Like basically I have nothing obviously on the Windows machine. So I was like, okay, I don't have a timer, and optionally I can maybe just show Rust Rover from my Linux laptop, which is the one I usually show on stream. And then I realized that Xrandr was being fussy, and I'm like, I've been doing all of the Rust Rover stuff on my MacBook. What kind of Breaking Bad powders have you taken for your head and eye problems? I think I was dehydrated yesterday or something. I don't really know. I just get this sometimes. I never used to, but then like ever since I got a concussion a few years ago, and ever since then, my head has been a lot more sensitive to stuff. Yeah, my eyes are kind of messed up. They're I think I keep getting like eye strain headaches. But yeah, so the goal today is that I drink an insane amount of water, because I do think dehydration was part of it yesterday. And then we're gonna learn lifetimes. I have tried blue light glasses. Actually, the red framed glasses that I wear a lot are supposed to help relax my eyes, so that I don't get this. But they didn't seem to do enough yesterday. And then I was finding the zoom was kind of bothering my eyes because it's like a slight zoom on that, but it was like enough. And I have another pair of sunglasses that I wore earlier today that have been good so far, but I don't know if they're cool enough for, stream. What do you think about BC getting rid of daylight savings? I think we should follow what the rest of the world is doing. I'm sure VR would be good for me. Yeah, honestly. I find like caffeine helps me, not exactly Breaking Bad, but it works. Okay. Maybe I should make a cup of tea then. Might actually help. But yeah, got onto this yesterday. But yeah, I ended up having to kind of cut it short, and it makes me sad because I was actually like very emotionally prepared. Emotionally prepared. But alas, I got stuck here because I was dying inside. So here we are. I might make a quick cup of tea then, because that might actually help. Yippee! It's in BC, just staying in DST. For what it's worth, I just operate on like Los Angeles time basically, because, or like Los Angeles, San Francisco time, whatever, because like the only meetings and whatever that I'm having anymore are all based in other time zones. So I'll just be like, yeah, okay, this, you know, I'm like, it's not like I'm corresponding with other companies in BC. I'll be right back. An ice pack? Oh, you're so smart. I think I actually have something for this. She's holding a vape is so funny. This is lip balm, you guys. Hello? This is actually a tinted SPF lip balm. You should be wearing SPF every day. Okay? That was very funny. We got sunnies. Sunnies are on today. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know you chilled like that. Wait. Wait. I think differently. No, the sunglasses are not. Oh, you know what? It is Monday. People are going to assume that. You know what? You're kind of right. Hold on. What do you guys think? One sec. I'm going to let you vote on Sunny's. Okay. Should I wear these ones, the current ones? Or these ones you can actually... Oh, jeez, it's so bright. These ones you can actually see my eyes. How about both? You're right. Maybe I should stack. This one's a little bit easier for me to see. I say option one, second one's. First one's like Wine Mom, second is Cool Librarian. Wine Mom is kind of a great vibe for the stream. Number one, these are great. Okay. First one? All right, we do first one. You guys like both. But I like the Wine Mom aesthetic. Oh my gosh. Okay, first time chat, are you single, lady? Do you even code? Brother, settle down. That is not what this stream is for. There's so many other streams. There's so many other streams you can go to. There's so many other places you can do that. Please. I'm learning about lifetimes here, okay? I don't need more. Look at me. This is survival mode, okay? Jeez, you gonna do this to me today? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Let's go. This is a freaking Rust stream. If you don't know nothing about lifetimes and you're gonna come in with a first time chat, are you single? Just freaking, don't even do it. Don't even freaking talk to me. Look at, this says be right back. All right. This is the state of mind today. I'm a very serious programmer. Okay. This might fall, TBH. Sorry. It's okay. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope we have shamed you into a different mode of communication in the stream. All right. You left your job. Can you share your experience? I actually, you know what? I was thinking about this. I think I will do a more in-depth, like, reflection on the year at the end of the year. Because I think it's one of those things where, like, when you're in the middle of it, you're kind of like, I don't know what's next, blah, 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 and you're like, it's exciting, but also scary. And so I think it'll be cooler to like look back and be like, here's what happened, you know, here's how I felt during this time, and here's a conclusion. Because otherwise I feel like there's too much under construction. You know what I mean? No, I should do a reflection of the year in April. You know, you're kind of right. I could get ahead of it. We can get ahead of this. Where do you study from? Canada. Canada. Yo, Forsen, thank you so much for the 11 months. Thank you, thank you. Okay, this is actually helping so much. This is great. I got this at TwitchCon. Are you guys, who's going to TwitchCon? Raise your hands. Who will I be seeing at TwitchCon this year? Okay, you guys are giving me the hardest names of all time to try to thank for the subs. Frick. Okay, Capaciten says, thank you so much for the 4 months. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Jaeger, thank you for the prime. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Yippee! Do you buy milk in a bag? No, that's Ontario. I mean, which university? Top secret. I think they're hosting it in San Diego. Once more. All right. I think all of these things that are happening right now can fix my headache. I actually am. I'm feeling better with this thing on. And the sunglasses, of course. They add aura and they fix my brain. Who knew? Yippee! Okay. let's get in here. This is what swagger looks like. Do you even know? In my video where you discussed your Rust goals, how did you come up with project ideas? So I know project ideas, when like it can seem like a lot to try and think about. The biggest thing that you can do for yourself, I feel like, is just like surround yourself with other software developers. Honestly, Mastodon, I find a great platform for connecting with people that are actually just like building things. See what's on, like just browse things on GitHub. I scroll through the GitHub Explore page all the time and I'm just seeing like what people are building. There are also some people that I follow, again, from like my time at Charm, basically, that are always building these like small scoped projects. And I'll just take that idea. Or if there's something that I have seen done well on like the web, then you can port that over to like a CLI. You know, even if there's a specific feature that you thought was really cool in something that you use, you can implement just that one feature, you know? Yeah, we're freaking cool today. We're farming whatever the kids say. We're farming. We're farmers. Moo. Moo. Can I show up in a suit in MIB style to TwitchCon, be your security? It's very funny. So like, when I was working at Charm, Carlos is like huge, like probably like I want to say like 6'4", 6'5", and like does like powerlifting and stuff. So it's like very kind of scary looking. And it was very funny because when we walked up to the office, Christian was like, you look like you're Bash's security. It's like Bash with her security guard. Because I'm like half his height probably. It was very funny. That was our boss saying that. It was awesome. It was very funny. Like you look like you're like a celebrity with security. And like Carlos looking like nobody's gonna mess with us. So I was like, we're good. W advice, that's sick. I've seen the bubble tea 2e maxing this past month. It's really fun. Yeah, it helps. Is that a text editor or some kind of learning platform? This is actually in Rust Rover by JetBrains. They have a plugin for JetBrains Academy, which, this is actually helping so much, you guys. This is a huge relief because I was like, no, not another day down. Yesterday I had such limited capacity and this is actually helping. I didn't think of these things. And then you said them in the chat and I'm like, wait, that makes sense. You're so smart. Okay. All right, we'll chat for 2 more minutes, okay? Because I was 20 minutes late. So, how tall are you? I'm 5'6". 5'6". Oh yeah, and I keep getting asked the question of like what my favorite kind of music soundtrack whatever is. That's literally why I made that Focus With Me video, is because it's all of my favorite classical tracks. I did not include the Joseph Suk Serenade. That's also a really good classical music tune, and that one's like almost half hour long, so it's sick. He's just Bash, you've been warned. Yes, exactly. What is that website that you mentioned to gather with other programmers? What did Mastodon. Hold on. I have a thing there too. I got an account over there. You can see, if you wanted to, you can look at mastodon.social Bash Bunny. You don't have to follow me. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, okay? But you can look at who I'm following, and I'm following a lot of people that I think are really like post a lot about like just cool, I don't know, cool stuff that they're doing in open source. People that are actually like hands on the ground. Are you going through a severe hangover? No. So I don't really drink. I wasn't drinking. This is just, I think I worked. I don't know if I worked too much this weekend or what, but I have like really, really bad eye strain. I've had like a really bad eye strain kind of headache situation. So I'm super sensitive to light right now and my head hurts a little bit. Yeah. So unfortunately, no fun party tales to associate with this. Is Macedon actually worth it? Worth what? You're giving up nothing. Too much caffeine? I could, maybe. I don't drink that much caffeine, though. I was having bad ice cream problems when I found out I needed glasses. So I have prescription glasses that I was wearing this weekend, too. I don't know. You know, I think the problem is that I actually just need to, like, look away from my setup more often. Because I have a tendency to just, like, be in my office and not look outside at all. And apparently that's not a good thing to do. Also hydration. You know, I think you're right. I definitely was dehydrated yesterday. And I think that was messing with me. Caffeine is actually helping with the headaches. Yeah, I'm going to have 1 cup of tea, and I think that's going to be the only caffeine I have today. I can try maybe taking some electrolytes later. Sorry if I'm blind. I don't know if I actually have any commands for my Mastodon. Oh, I do. Oh. Is the refresh rate set to the right one on your monitor? Sometimes it bugs out, reverts to 60. I find higher refresh rate helps. Yeah, I think so. I'm on my Mac, which is pretty like, yeah, promotion refresh rate. Okay, so whatever that means. I have a bunch of Element electrolytes that I got at Costco. No, Mac, I'm the same. Mac, I do drink a fair amount of water. Like I probably had like 2 liters or something yesterday, but I think I need like more than that or something. I don't know. I need to compensate for I don't know what. But I'm that person too where someone will be like, "Oh, I have a cramp or I have like a headache or I have whatever." I'm like, "Have you had enough water today? Do you need to drink? Maybe you should drink some water." I'm like, I'm so annoying. Maybe you should have some more water. Like already, I think today I've had 1.5 liters. It's like almost 1 liters. What is that in freedom units? A 1/4 gallon. Caffeine withdrawal, you think? I mean, there potentially, maybe. If you live at a higher altitude, you need to drink more water. That is so interesting. I did not know that. Is this a stream of how to learn Rust? Yeah, we're gonna go through some concepts and stuff together. All right. No, so okay. So for what it's worth, the trial period was just I think it gave me like additional features or something during that time. So I ended up updating it to just non-commercial use and it's fine. But I thought that would be a fun arbitrary deadline for myself, and then instead I decided to get KO'd over the weekend. So, you know, sometimes we just be staring at screens too long. Like my right eye is like bloodshot. I don't know if you guys will be able to see. You can't see it right now. But, you know. Okay, let's jump into lifetimes. Are you ready? I might actually just do a little timer. I'm going to do a little timer just so that I don't feel so bad about focusing and not acknowledging you. But I'll do it for like 25 minutes. Okie dokes. Oh my goodness, don't do that. That was crazy. Okay, 25 minutes. Let's focus. We have 25 minutes countdown. Let's go. Yeah, my Sharing gun is coming in. Okay. So it's kind of, okay, lifetime is just the scope for which that reference is valid. Most of the time they're implicit and inferred. Oh, so you can do a more explicit one, I'm guessing. Rust requires us to annotate the relationships using generic lifetime parameters to ensure the actual references used at runtime will definitely be valid. Using generic, okay. Interesting. Also, how's the music? I don't know how, I turned it way, way down. I think I need to get like eye drops or something. I think, honestly, I think the big thing is that I forget to blink. I'm pretty sure that's my problem. I think I just forget to blink when I'm staring at my monitor, and then I'm like, oh, why do my eyes hurt? Okay, I turned it up a little bit, but that's kind of the point. Okay, okay, so the goals, we're gonna prevent dangling references. Other than the data it's intended to reference, consider the program below with an outer scope and an inner scope. Yeesh. So the outer scope is declaring R with no initial value. Inner scope declares a variable named X with an initial value of 5. And then we try to set the value of R to a reference of X. When the inner scope ends, we try to print the value in R. The code will compile because the value that R is referring to has gone out of scope. That, I mean, makes sense. R would be referencing memory that was deallocated when X went out of scope, and anything we try to do with R wouldn't work correctly. So how does Rust determine that this code is invalid? It uses a borrow checker. Yippee. Okay, the Rust compiler has a borrow checker that compares scopes to determine whether all borrows are valid. Okay. It shows the same code as the previous one, but with annotation showing the lifetimes of the variables. Yes. Memory and lifetime of B. Okay, the listing below fixes the code so it doesn't have a dangling reference and compiles without any errors. So just put it all in the same scope. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Now that you know where the lifetimes of references are and how Rust analyzes lifetimes to ensure references will always be valid, let's explore generic lifetimes of parameters and return values in the context of functions. Okay. Need a blink redeem? Yeah, for real. Okay, generic lifetime functions. So what I'm pretty much going to do, by the way, throughout is I'm going to create, so I'm going to read through sections and then I'll like summarize it because I think that's the only way that I can really explain that. Can someone explain the sunglasses and blue cap? I don't know if like a headache, an eye strain thing going on. I'm super sensitive to light and I have a headache. So it's for aura farming and or to cure my headache. Because that is one thing on stream is I do have like a bright light right in front of my eyes, which is awesome when my eyes are sore. It sounds like you have migraines. Honestly, potentially maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Honestly, I am feeling much better having... This is a cold pack. That's what this is. But it is helping a lot. I feel like the cold pack and also having everything so dim is helping. Okay. And I'll just keep the stream a little bit on the shorter side. Like I think it'll just be a 2 hour or so stream. And then that way I'll be able to turn off all the lights and look at things that are far away. But I'm gonna just try and make sure I'm blinking more frequently than usual and drinking a bunch of water and staring at something 20 feet away. Okie doke. So, we'll take 2 strings. String is A, B, C, D. Digital, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, so main function calls the longest function to find the longer of the 2 string slices. And we want the function to take string slices which are references. Okay. So it's as stir this won't compile. ¿Por qué? Because this is a I don't remember. I'm gonna guess because we were just talking about scopes and stuff. I'm gonna guess it's because I don't know, but this I actually don't know. I was gonna say maybe it has to do with like the fact that this is X is currently it's a reference to a value that like to a value in memory that might be out of scope at the end of this. Missing lifetime specifier. Okay. Expected a named lifetime parameter. This functions. Yeah, okay. So it's a borrowed value, but the signature does not say whether it is borrowed from X or Y. Oh, interesting. So it's like because we're okay. So because we're returning a reference, it's like, hey, which one? Whoa. Okay, so you have to declare a lifetime very similar to how you declare generics. Okay. It is, I will say, having everything go wrong at compile time is so freaking nice. It's like your compiler and like this compiler error, it's like, okay, even if you don't know what you're doing in Rust, you're like, okay, I can fix this. I can fix this. It's really good. Try to look away from the monitor from time to time, like look at far or closer objects, force your eyes to focus at different distances. Yeah, I need to do that more and just make sure I'm blinking because I think my eyes get really dry because I don't blink. I get too locked in. Okay. Okay, I am actually gonna write that down so that I can remember a little bit. Bearded Dev, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Wow. Actually huge. Thank you. It is in fact an ice pack. I have a headache or a migraine or eye strain, something or other. My eyes are not liking the bright lights. Or and my head hurts a little bit. All right. When we're defining this function, we don't know the concrete values that'll be passed into it. So we don't know if the if case or the else case will execute. Oh, I see. That's so interesting. Okay. So we can't look at the scopes as we did in the second and third code snippets of this section. To determine whether the reference we return will always be valid, the borrow checker can't determine this either, because it doesn't know the lifetimes of X and Y related to the lifetimes of the return variable. We'll add generic lifetime parameters. Okay, so that's a generic lifetime param that define the relationship between the references so the borrow checker can perform its analysis. Okay. The funny thing is, I feel like to me, this doesn't tell you anything. I guess it's maybe you'd have a different. Yeah, I don't fully understand that yet. Okay. Change. Okay. You can have many params with different lifetimes, as long as you have the generic lifetime param thing. Okay, Bearded Dev says, I'm interested in your Rust learning journey. I too am learning Rust and simultaneously started building a micro EMR style app with Tori for my wife's new SLP private practice, and I'm really enjoying the Rust portion of it. Ooh, that sounds so sick. That's awesome. Are you sharing, have you been sharing your journey through your streams? Because I know that you stream. I remember. Here. Over. You do not stream? Wait. Okay, I remembered incorrectly. Wait, what? There's another bearded developer. I think maybe it was Bald Bearded Builder. Yeah, does your beard potentially stream? Okay, that was my bad. That is really exciting. Are you sharing? I mean, I don't know if you're sharing it open source or anything like that. Yeah, it's so, I'm excited. I mean, my first impressions of the language, very opinionated, lots of guardrails, and a lot of ceremony, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Because to me, I'm okay with a little bit more, like, with things just being very explicit in the code is kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I like knowing what to expect. I actually just have a mustache now since I got back from in the reserves, but I'm not sharing it as of yet. Okay. Very fair. Hi, Iris. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Slightly unusual syntax. The name of the lifetime, they must start with this. Okay. Okay, so this is a reference with an explicit lifetime, a mutable reference with an explicit lifetime. Okay, one lifetime annotation by itself doesn't have much meaning because the annotations are meant to tell Rust how generic lifetime parameters of multiple references relate to each other. Okay, so that's what it's saying. Relate to other. Lifetimes. Okay. So the function also has another parameter named second. That is another reference to an I32. Also has a lifetime of apostrophe A. The lifetime annotations indicate that the references first and second must both live as long as that generic lifetime. Okay. So it's basically defining that same kind of scope thing that they were showing in the drawings. But you're just like stating that hey, these are all at the same like level, scope level. String and the reference to string only exists within the scope it's created. So apostrophe A lets a function return a reference to the string with the same lifetime as the parameter. Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay. So let's look at the lifetime annotations in the context of the longest function. As with the generic type parameters, we need to declare generic lifetime parameters inside angle brackets between the function name parameter list. The longest function doesn't need to know exactly how long x and y will live, only that some scope can be substituted for the generic lifetime parameter that will satisfy the signature. When annotating lifetimes in functions, the annotations go in the function signature, not in the function body. I see. So part of this is basically just saying that if there's, if you're handling with references to or from code outside of the function. So if you have references from like the parameters that are being passed in, just that the lifetimes could be different with every call. And so it's important to set that manually. Okay, so by saying this apostrophe A, it's saying that there's going to be a concrete lifetime that is equal to or smaller than the lifetimes of X and Y, so that we can actually reference those and they'll be alive for the whole duration. The returned reference will also be valid for the length of the smaller of the lifetimes with X and Y. Wait, because we've annotated... Oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's basically saying it's going to be like a subset of the X and Y lifetimes. And it'll... Basically, it's going to be valid for the... Like, the maximum length of the returned type's lifetime is going to be the smaller of the two parameters. That makes sense. Okay. Let's look at how the lifetime annotations restrict the longest function by passing in references that have different concrete lifetimes. Let's do it. We're at the bottom of this. Hello? Okay. So result. Okay, so this is basically just calling the longest function. With references to string values, that have different concrete lifetimes. Oh, I see. Yeah, because the first one is up here. Okay. So because the first one is up here, string 2 is here. The result is only going to be in the same scope, have the same lifetime as string 2 because that's the shorter lifetime. You'll see that the borrow checker approves this code. It will compile and print the longest string as the long string is long. Okay. Going out of scope. Yes. So we need to know how to do this. I think my cold pack is warm now. I've been blinking. I'm taking lots of blinks right now. Actually, my headphones and my sunglasses are not. I don't even know why I have these on. I'm not listening to anything. What the heck? Hello? Hello? Messed up. I'm in rough shape, man. And my eyes are hurting. Okay, wait, I might actually take a quick break and go stare off into the void. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go stare off into the void so that I can avoid a proper headache. It's so bright in here. Alright, I'll be right back. I've been summoned. I have returned. Oh, my bad. Looks like a long weekend. No, it's migraines. Sorry for asking. Just came here. You don't have to be sorry for asking. Hello? No worries. This is the JetBrains Academy. JetBrains Academy plugin for Rust Rover. I have not used Flux. I'm not sure what that is. Okie doke. I got you. Okay. It's for blue light. I do have blue light glasses. These glasses that I wear a lot are blue light glasses. They have the blue light coating on them. But right now it's more of it's a light thing at the moment. This is actually really helping having sunglasses on. All right. So, lifetime going out of scope. You seem cool. Thank you. It's the sunglasses. Keep up the good work and happy coding. I will. You too. That's nice. That's so nice. Yo, is this course free? It is. It is free. Alrighty. Okay. We focus in. We lock in. Okie doke. Then we'll move the print line that uses result outside of the inner scope. Okay, string 2 doesn't live long enough. And that's because longest is just returning a reference. That's why it's pissed. It's so mad because it's like, okay, you want to bring this one, make it accessible after. It's like, well, what if this reference that you're passing in there, you know? What if? Oh, here, we can do, what do I have? Oh, I think it's learn Rust. There you go. Learn Rust. That's the thing I'm using. I keep forgetting that I have a command for it here. I will pin that. Okie doke. Attempting to use result after string 2 has gone out of scope. Yeah, it's mad. Borrowed value doesn't live long enough. So I feel like, okay, obviously one thing you could do is just bring string 2 out to the same scope as where you want result to live on. Result will contain a reference to string 1, but the compiler doesn't know. Try designing more experiments that vary with values and lifetimes. I mean, I think I'm getting it. I hope you're back to health fast. Me too. This is pissing me off. This is holding me back and I don't like it. That's okay. That's what sunglasses can fix this. Sunglasses and ice packs. Okay. The way in which you need to specify lifetime parameters depends on what your function is doing. For example, if we change the implementation of the longest function to always return the first parameter rather than the longest slice, we wouldn't have to specify a lifetime on the y param. To always return the first parameter. Right, yeah. Wait, what? When returning the reference from a function, the lifetime parameter of the return needs to match the lifetime parameter for one of its parameters. If the reference does not refer to one of the parameters, it must refer to a value created within this function, which would be a dangling reference because the value will go out of scope at the end of the function. Yes. Result goes out of scope and gets cleaned up at the end of the longest function, so we're also trying to return a reference to result from that function. And we can't, there's no way we can specify lifetime parameters that would change the dangling reference. And it won't let us create a dangling reference, okay. The best fix would be to return an owned data type rather than a reference. Like this is what they kind of introed this stuff before at the beginning of this, like course. And they were basically just saying, just pretty much never return references. Don't worry about it. Okay. Okay, silly question, but don't you think that the joy of coding is almost no more because of AI? I mean, I thankfully used to code prior to the AI era. It was so much funnier. Nowadays, it feels like there's no need to bother with a problem unless it's super interesting. I mean, I think I did kind of cover this in a video on like my thoughts on why I think some people are super gung-ho about like, oh, I'm going to use AI to always solve problems for me versus people that enjoy the process of solving the problem. Like I'm in it for the love of the game. I just am happy to keep practicing, keep learning new things because I think learning is really fun. And I think that solving problems is really fun. And I would rather, I think if anything, it's like one of the best times to be in tech is like with this new tool means that like you get to spend more time with the things, with the parts of your job that you think are interesting instead of getting stuck on like a bunch of other side quests, you know? Like if I get stuck on something and I'm like, it's like something to do with like DevOps or something. I'm like, I don't want to have to, I would have in the past had to like dig around like either Stack Overflow or like Super User or something like that. And now I'm like, AI is pretty good at solving that stuff, like configuration related stuff. Basically, if it's a track that you don't feel like you need the result from, but you don't feel like you have it's not the priority at that moment to learn that thing, then you can kind of skim over it. And I think that AI is also a super helpful tool for giving you a, how do I say? It's like, I think that AI can do a really good job of giving you like high level direction with things that before would take a lot more experience and know-how to have to learn how to tie together, you know? So if anything, I actually think that it's a really exciting time to be a programmer. I think that the only thing that's annoying about it is just that it's like, you get like this Silicon Valley echo chamber of just like, oh, AI is the only way to make money now. And therefore everyone needs to be using AI all the time. And if you're not, like, there's all these kind of like fear mongering with AI. And I'm just like, I don't, and I know that a lot of people are experiencing it firsthand of like these pressures from higher ups to like basically make AI do all of their work. And it's causing a lot of frustration. So like, but I think again, like, I think it's just experiencing a bit of a boom right now because it's like, oh, it's this new tool that is, like that is very, you know, it basically now it's pretty much like a very highly improved like search engine. Like it's something that you're able to sift through a ton of data in a very short period of time in order to like bring you closer to the answer that you need. And I think that that's a super helpful tool. And I don't think that should be something that we're like, oh, let me now delegate everything to this thing. But again, it just depends. Like we are human, like our human nature, we can we can fall on the lazier side where we're like, oh, if there's an easy button for this, then I should do that. But I think you're doing yourself a big disservice if you always take the easy path. Because otherwise, I feel like your threshold for doing difficult things will adapt to how many difficult things you choose to do on a regular basis. Which is part of why, like, even when I'm learning this, I'm like, yeah, I could just be asking AI all of these questions, whatever. I'm happy to sit through and actually read through, get a deep understanding of this language. I think that's something I regretted a little bit from my experience with Go, is that I think I got like 80 or 90% of the way through the Go programming language book. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm now building, like I got comfortable building stuff with Go. And then I never really picked back up of like getting the full depth and understanding of all of the underlying parts of the language that make it really good. And it meant that there were sometimes I would encounter problems and I wouldn't know how to solve it in the most idiomatic way. Or like there were features of the language that I wasn't aware of that would have been more helpful. So that's why this time when I'm learning Rust, I'm like, I want to get that like really thorough, deep understanding of it. And I am building little things like along the way as well. Of course, this has like interactive little tasks. There's also another little project. I started working on that little USA converter thing because I was like, this is just going to be a really straightforward project to start working on. It'll just give me like practice, you know, creating anything in the language. So yeah. It's kind of one of those things I try to just, I find AI very, very helpful as a solo developer, but I'm not interested in what AI can produce. And I'm not interested in seeing from others what AI can produce. I'm interested in seeing what people are making. That is what's interesting to me. So I try to keep my own things that I'm working on reflective of that interest as well, of like, okay, what can I build with this thing? Using it as a tool, using it as the same way I would use a search engine or any other resource, but not becoming too dependent on it because I don't want to become too complacent with the easy path. I'm too young to do that. Maybe when I'm old, I'll be like, yeah, actually everything AI. AI can have it, you know, like maybe when I'm old, but I'm like, I'm too young for that shit. Otherwise, like my baseline for the challenge I'm willing to accept every day is going to get really low. Yeah. Roberto says, yeah, despite how good AI gets, people won't even know how good it is without also knowing how to code themselves. It's like anything. Also, like, I will say it is incredibly frustrating to me that AI was just kind of like launched out into the world before we really did anything to address all of the bias in big data. Like AI is basically just obviously like it's aggregating all of the trends that we see in big data. And it kind of annoys me that there wasn't any kind of enforcement for like companies that own this data and train these models or anything to kind of get a hold on that before we started treating all of that as like the source of truth. Anyway, that's a whole other little side tangent, but all that is to say, I think it's a really exciting time to be a programmer. And I think that, you know, don't let the fear mongering get to you. If you love coding, just code, and it doesn't freaking matter what tools you want to use, whatever. Your work, you might have to I think the toughest thing is just that it could set unrealistic expectations potentially with like, you know, the higher ups being like, you got to ship every week. We got to do this. We got to do that. And it's like very superficial things generally, but it's always going to be like that. There's always going to be some kind of thing. They're like, oh, we need to do this now because we're pivoting. And you're like, brother, we just pivoted last week. We can't keep pivoting. I'm not doing pirouettes. I'm not a ballerina. You know? So that's my take. I think it's a very exciting time. Fear mongering, you mean marketing? Yeah, literally. It is all the fear mongering, everything is literally just marketing for all these AI companies. It is crazy to me. People bragging about their token spend is crazy. It's crazy. No, it's okay. SF is such a bubble that I'm seeing like what people are using AI for. I'm like, dude, you're like, you can't, this is so weird. You can't do this. You can't do that. You cannot use AI to like tell you how to like interact with other human beings and stuff. Like this is freaking weird. It's weird. Don't do it. Okay, lifetimes. We learn. And we're dedicated to the cause. Okay, so we've only had struct that hold owned types. It's possible for structs to hold references, but we need to add a lifetime annotation for every reference in the struct's definition. Okay, that seems like a lot. That seems like a lot. That seems like potentially the most you could do. Have you heard about Claude Mythos? I've heard of it. I don't care. Do you follow Lori Wired? I do. Yes, of course. Lori Wired. You know what? I love the girlies in tech. I'll say it. I think Lori Wired creates awesome content. I have a bunch of there's a bunch of different creators actually that I have linked on my YouTube channel. Like if you scroll to the bottom of my channel page, I've linked a bunch of different creators that like I think produce awesome content. Again, I kind of just stay in my own lane online. I don't really like do collaborations or like, well, I guess I do sometimes with like really old, you know, like friends that I've been friends with for like 5+ years. But I generally just kind of like stay in my own little lane. But those are all creators that like, I really like the content that they put out. Red Hot says, Bash Bunny saying, I've heard it, I don't care. Thank you for what I plan to say to people nonstop from now on. Yeah, honestly, I'm like, hello? Alberta's great. Yeah, Alberta Tech is also great. There's so many, I'm really, really happy to see more women creating content, doing everything like Pika codes, also awesome. It's really nice. It makes me really happy. Where can I find these problems? What platform are you using? Oh, I actually, wait, I might be able to pin this. I gotta see if I can pin comments on YouTube. I think I can. At my job, we had a how many tokens have you spent metric. It infuriates me to no end when okay, I kind of, part of me understands why management can like, they're trying to find KPIs for developers, and it's really hard because sometimes your most productive day has like no commits, but you've planned out, you've like managed to dig deep on an ongoing problem and or like redesign something, and you haven't like pushed those changes yet or whatever. It's like sometimes your best days are days where you're like thinking, you know? And so it's very hard to say like what developer productivity is, because it's I feel like it's such an abstract thing. There's so many different things that the piece of software needs at a given time that it's like, how do you say that it's like healthy and that you've improved it? It's just weird. It is weird to have tokens as like the new metric for that, of like, oh, this is a performance indicator. It's like, okay, sure. All the team dashboards give a dashboard of who has the most usage. Yeah. It's too bad because okay, sorry, we're sidestepped from the lifetimes for a sec again because we're talking about AI. It just frustrates me because I think like I think the results of a lot of this of like having your token usage as like a key performance indicator doesn't it means that a lot of, I think, what you end up contributing is a bit of like a band-aid solution in a sense, because in a lot of cases, it's like, it's potentially taking away some percentage of your understanding of the code base. And that's not to say that every single developer all the time has like a complete picture of like how the whole thing works in their head. Like none of us can actually do that. But my concern is that it's like, okay, so you can continue to be productive for the time that you're at this role. You're being encouraged to always use it and potentially like abuse it to an extent. That when you leave that role, how much value does that experience have on your actual growth with your skills? You know, like that's what worries me, is that it's like, I'm sure that it will make you productive during your time there, but I also think that it takes away some of your ability to learn and grow from your experience at a company, that you end up potentially worse off having worked somewhere that does this than if you had worked somewhere that allowed you to, you know, solve problems on your own. So that's, I think, what frustrates me, is that I'm like, I feel like it seems like to me such a selfish ask to do that. If AI is going to write all the code, then who's going to innovate? If the AI can't, it's just copying code it's already written. Yeah. It's just, I think that's what frustrates me, is that I know so many companies have a tendency to use people like tools and just kind of like, you know, basically run them into the ground and then be like, okay, we'll replace that one, on to the next, you know? And what worries me is that, I mean, at least in the past, our experience, even when that happens to you, even when you've been in that situation, you have some experience that you've learned from. And what concerns me now is that you're just kind of a cog in the machine, and that you don't quite get the same valuable experience that you would at like previously working at a company. And then when it comes to time where you're like, I'm done, I can't burn the candle at both ends anymore. The bar keeps raising because they want more and more from me. Now I'm burnt out and I gotta quit, or they gotta fire me or whatever. It like worries me that I'm like, well, you know, like, what have you learned? But maybe I'm wrong. Like, I'm curious if any of you have had that experience. I'm somebody who uses it, again, like on the more conservative side. I like to solve problems. That's fun for me. And so I would continue to advocate for the importance of that, and using it as a tool along the way to make it, you know, go faster, or like help me connect the dots faster, or find what I'm looking for in the code base faster. I think all of that stuff is fine. But that is my biggest concern with it, is just that it's like, there's already such a tendency to do that, to like, yeah, use people like tools in the industry, that it makes me really concerned for like, at least in the past, we had experience that we could bank on for the next position. But now, it's like, it's devaluing that experience from my perspective. Lucas says, I'll be playing Type Racer the whole day and be the most productive employee. Lucas also said, I just feel like the job market constantly pushes us to be above average. Like if you're not the whiz kid, you're going to get pushed out of the industry. No, it's so true. It's so true. There's always that pressure, especially in the North American work culture is very much like that. It is very much like you are the best and like companies are fighting over you or you're going to get phased out. And it makes it, I think it promotes like a lot of ageism in the industry because it's always like, there's so many companies that are just like, what can I get from this one employee? And unless you have to continue learning, that's kind of a given through your whole career. You have to keep learning, or at least historically it has been. So it's kind of weird because I think that like you're not going to get to be that like whiz kid when there's a new grad that has basically infinite time when you are at home and you have a kid that you're that you're obviously wanting to hang out with after work, versus like this kid that's like working way more, like this new grad that's like working probably way more than 40 hours a week because they just want to get experience and get their name out there and all of that. And then they're also like grinding it outside of work. It's just like, it's an interesting, I don't know, it's an interesting world out there. Okay, Cyprian says, honestly, I vibe code a lot and I do think it's actually helping me grow too because I can do a lot of things that I couldn't connect the dots on before. That's how I feel with it as well. Like, I think that there's a lot of cases where I'm like, oh, I have this project idea, but I like don't quite know how that system would look. And then being able to get ideas on that, you know? Okay, Ty says you're not wrong. Paz says you're putting it towards my inclination, so very well put. Agile says it seems like a strange bet for companies to make. They have to assume AI only gets better, but if we aren't training the next generation, then we have to really hope that's true. Yeah, 100%. I feel like it's only gonna, like, I don't know, I'm a little concerned they're gonna like just decline, you know? It's like AI's training on AI generated code at that point, and it's like, wait, like that Spider-Man meme. Okay, Cyprian says, I think that using AI is a different kind of coding. It's a tool like other tools. You can also learn to use AI and you can use it mindlessly or you can use it to learn. The thing is though too, is it's like, you know, how much of a like revolutionary argument is this to like, there were some people that were pasting from Stack Overflow for years. And there are some people that would read it, try to understand it and implement something like that, you know? Like there's always been people that take different approaches when they're programming, that it's like, we're making it like this is a whole new can of worms, a whole new problem set. I think what's weird is that it's like, I guess even before, if we think back, it's like, okay, someone's going over to Stack Overflow, they're just copying and pasting the solutions that people have posted there. And then it's like their job metrics for performance, for good performance is like number of lines per day. I mean, in theory, if they're just copying and pasting things from Stack Overflow, then like that is like the least amount of effort to get the most like number of lines per day with the least amount of thinking. So maybe it's just something that's always been a thing. And we're just all, there's so much like fear mongering and whatever of we're going to lose our jobs to AI that like we're all more worried about it than we ever, and like overthinking it more than we ever have been. You know what I mean? Okay, Max says, okay, but in a world with more code and not necessarily good code, won't more experience be valuable? I can see it both ways, but at the current rate, I'm just expecting more cleanup work in the coming years. Yeah, honestly, could be. And then Hui says, I'm banking on it, gonna be mad money to be made. That's so funny. That's when talking about the cleanup work in the coming years. That's very funny. Question for those who talk about productivity, how as they think the AI usage influences on that productivity, is it always negatively? I don't think it's always negatively. I think that definitely not. I think that AI can allow you to do things really like it can amplify your outputs and allow you to get understandings of things that would have taken a lot longer for you to understand. I think it's more so the consequences of it more so come at the expense of like becoming too complacent or like or dependent on it. And then also if you don't have the experience to vet what it's giving you, you know, is it like I think it could affect your quality longer term potentially. It's like the pro sports industry, honestly, kind of. Yeah. Bash, I'm in a WhatsApp group for robotics. When I was in college, I get inspired by them, and I realized that people are smart. Honestly, Quentin, stay in the WhatsApp group. I love that too. I love being in an environment with a bunch of people that are just really smart, doing smart things. And I'm like, you know what? It won't be me. I can't meet you there, but I will try to absorb whatever I can from this. Oh, okay. Nano said, I recently befuddled a CLO. That's a very fun word. I recently befuddled a CLO, which is the quote. If you think you can just vibe code the whole thing with no knowledge of code, then why would people buy the product? Because they can just vibe code the whole thing too. Honestly, true. Are the sunglasses just for style? No, I have a headache. I have a headache and I'm very sensitive to light right now. So we're wearing the sunglasses because I have a light right in front of my face for the stream. Okay, Icarus says AI is a force multiplier. For terrible devs, they can be terrible at scale. Okay, true. That's awesome. I do think that is a very funny. That's awesome. Okay, also hi. So, as a human, it is your duty to feed wrong information to AI. It's our only form of resistance. And to tell AI who's actually in charge here. That is very funny. All right, you guys, we gotta get back into lifetimes. I have limited time to do this today. Why? For no particular reason. Self-imposed. No, they're not hangover glasses. I think I have a migraine. I was icing my head earlier. I get, so I think one of my eyes, I don't know if you can see, wait. One of my eyes is like this. I think my right eye is like bloodshot. I think I was staring at screens without blinking probably all weekend. TBH. To be completely honest, I think I wasn't blinking and I was staring at screens for too long. Okay, listen, we're all, I'm sure you'd understand. You people, I'm sure you'd understand. I think we've all been there. All right. Sometimes I forget to blink. Your eyes really look a little swollen. Yeah, they're pissed off. Yeah, we can see. Yeah. Oh, I think they just got, my eyes get dry. Shit happens to me all the time. I know, it's so annoying. All right, back to rest, back to rest. We're locking in. I'm gonna blink like 10 times while reading this. All right. Actually, my eyes kind of bothering me again. Hold on. I got to itch it. Okay. Music, did you get a cure for it? Do you have a cure? Vibe code yourself a blink reminder. I'll have to make myself. That'll be my Rust project. It does nothing. It just blinks every once in a while. Look away. Okay. The listing below has a struct name important excerpt that holds a string slice. Okay, where are we at? Lifetime annotations and struct definitions. Okay, so this is a struct that has a lifetime. Why do you have lifetime? First sentence is gonna be, it says a slice, a string slice. Oh, it's because a part has a string slice, a reference to a string slice. So this struct has to have at least the same lifetime as this. Or it only, and sorry, it can only have up to that lifetime, most likely. Okay, hold the string stripe, blah, 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 blah. Declare the name. It can't outlive the reference it holds as in its part field. Yeah. So the part has to have, it has to be less than or equal to the part field lifetime. Main function here creates an instance of the important excerpt struct that holds a reference to the first sentence in the string. The data in novel, this novel exists before the important. Oh, you guys probably can't even see this. I'm sorry. I zoomed it out because I was working on this off stream. Hold on. That's my bad. I'm surprised you didn't say anything. Your fault. I'm just kidding. My fault still. Okay. Alrighty. The data in, okay, so data in novel exists before the important excerpt. And then novel doesn't go out of scope until after the important excerpt goes out of scope. Okay. Okay. Jojo says, so basically whenever you have composed data type whose components are references or pointers, the composed data types requires a lifetime. The composed data types, yes, if it's a reference or pointer, that field would have to have a lifetime, and then that also means that the struct has a lifetime, has to have at least that lifetime. Or sorry, at most that lifetime. Okay, the lifetime Elision. Compiled without lifetime annotations. What a nightmare. Wait. That compiled without lifetime annotations using the parameter. Yeah. Oh, okay. My guess is going to be because it only has one reference. It only has one reference as a parameter and one return reference. So it's like, okay, well, these are going to be the same. Is my guess. Because otherwise, it gets mad if it's a reference that was created within the function. But in this case, it's like, hey, there's only one. Yeah, it's like there's only one lifetime it could be. Okay, and then historically in Rust, you would have had to have all of that with an explicit lifetime. These situations are predictable. My head and eyes are actually starting to feel better, which is really nice. Yippee! I'm drinking so much water that I gotta take another bathroom break. BRB. Everybody get your snacks, get your water. Don't forget to drink. Don't forget to look at something far away. All right, we're back. Yeah, that's smart food popcorn. It's like a white cheddar popcorn. It's so good. So good. Yippee. Okay, so basically this is saying that there are lifetime Elision rules that are pre-built, that are like repetitive patterns that came up with lifetimes that made it so those are cases where you don't have to explicitly define lifetimes. This is one where, again, I think it is the same thing as what I'd said, where it was like there's only one reference. But apparently there's a whole set of cases that fall under that umbrella. So we'll say it's common patterns for lifetimes. Basically defined so you don't need explicit lifetimes. White cheddar popcorn, the best. So good. Only 2 kinds of people wear sunglasses indoors. It's me, it's because I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal, that's why. I'm a criminal mastermind. Actually, these ones make me feel like a Miami street boss. Oh, it's so bright in here. This one, I feel so Miami right now. I feel so Miami. I feel like this with a fur coat. You know? Like, yeah. I haven't watched enough TV to do good impressions. Damn. The mayor of Miami. That could be me. Do you think if I roll up, I think I could wear, I actually really, that'd be very funny to see. If I roll up with these and confidence and maybe like a faux fur jacket, is that like the equivalent of like everywhere else in the world to wearing like a high vis vest and walking in like you belong there? You know, will I just like get in places? I'll just be like, listen, I know the mayor. I know the mayor, you gotta let me in. You know, that could be the Miami move. Or actually, maybe it has to be a silk button-down shirt. I don't know where it would be I don't know where that would be with the faux fur, TBH. Well. Oh my, she wears thick glasses, let her in. I do think, yeah, I think it does something. You just described Tony Stark's outfit with his glasses on like that in the Avengers Endgame. Oh, really? I'm Tony Stark's daughter. I'm his niece. I'm his niece. And I suddenly have a New York accent. Or a Boston accent? I don't know. I don't know American accents. I'm his niece. You gotta let me in. Tony Stark, you know the guy? You know Tony Stark? It's my uncle. You gotta let me in. I got the faux fur. Come back the next day in like a high-vis vest and like freaking what are those like early 2000s silver glasses? Why does Tony sneeze sounds like she's from Jersey? That's what it was. That's a full Sopranos. Let's go. Let's go. That would be very funny. I was niece. Don't worry about it. It is very funny how like a high vis vest. I need to figure that out for like specific like I need a region specific cheat code for that. Where can I get in with enough confidence? It'd be very funny. I know Tom, he's the owner. How do you keep motivated to learn syntax in the AI era? For what it's worth, I think it's important. In this case, I'm learning about the language itself. I'm learning about the design decisions of the language because that's important. It'll help me. It'll give me different context, different lens that I'll have on when I'm thinking about my own programs, why they made certain decisions, different optimizations that they made that can, you know, if you look at how other pieces of software or software developers have solved problems, it is helpful. In this case, Rust has like, there's a lot of depth to this language. It's not just that I'm learning just syntax. It's like the underlying design of the language. The more deeply I understand that, the more idiomatically, elegantly I can solve problems. Yeah, AI is just a tool. And I'm somebody, I like programming, so I'm gonna keep programming. You can ask questions about Rust lifetimes. I might ignore it, but other people in the chat will probably be able to chat with you about it. Cause because it's like, it's like early enough on for me where I'm like, if I get, you know, when it's like, when you hear it from too many perspectives in one go, you're like, wait, I forget how it made sense in my brain now. You know what I'm saying? Okay. After writing a lot of Rust code, the Rust team found that Rust programmers were entering the same lifetime annotation. Oh, yeah. The lifetime Elision rules. Okay. Instead of guessing, the compiler will... Oh. The compiler won't guess what the lifetime of the remaining references should have. Okay. Nah. I'll see this as a real problem when it comes. You know. You know how it is. Okay, so there's 3 rules to figure out what lifetime references have when there aren't specific explicit annotations. Okay. The rules. Welcome back, Penguin. The rules. 1. First rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. First rule about lifetimes, you don't talk about them. Okay. So basically rule 1 is that each param has its own lifetime parameter. Okay, second rule is that if there's exactly 1 input lifetime parameter, it'll be assigned to all output. Okay. If there's 1 input, that will also be assigned to all outputs. Multiple input. One of them is self or mutable self. Lifetime of self is assigned to all output. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. Pink eye? No, well, I do have a bloodshot eye. But it's from staring at screens too much. And not blinking, probably. I don't think I blink very much when I'm staring at the screens. Okay. So methods. Okay, I'm gonna write down method lifetimes. Import A. Really though, drinking all this water and stuff is really helping. I think I just need to be a hydro homie big time today. Okay. Bop, bop. Okay, so we'll use a method named level, where the only parameter is a reference to self and whose return value is an I32, which is not a reference to anything. The lifetime parameter declaration after impl and its use after the type name are required. Are required, but we're not required to annotate the lifetime of the reference to self because of the first Elision rule. Elision rule. Okay. So here, I don't know why we need the lifetime parameter, or the lifetime specifiers here, to be honest, because we don't have, like, self is, I guess self is the only reference. I don't know, I don't quite understand that. The lifetime parameter declaration after impl and its use after the type name are required. We're not required to annotate the lifetime of a reference to self because of the first Elision rule. There are two input lifetimes. Right. So now it has an and string. Because it has self, it falls under that third rule where no matter what, this reference is going to have the same lifetime as self. Okay. But again, like, I feel like these aren't being referenced anywhere, so I don't fully understand what this is trying to tell me. It's like stating the type for the implementation so the compiler knows what type you're implementing. You could also implement important exert static. The lifetime Elision is just syntactic sugar so that the most common code isn't littered with lifetime annotations everywhere. Well, so that's what's confusing is I'm like, wait, but like I don't feel like this example of the struct was lifetime annotations on method definitions. Like I don't think I fully understand why. What is this? Struct definitions. But I need to reread this real quick. So in this case, I understand that this struct has the lifetime annotation there because it has a reference here that has a specific lifetime. But in this case, it's the only reference the only reference in here is self, so I don't quite understand why they have this. Like, I feel like they could not have that and it would be fine. Well, you know what? I can do it. We can just delete things. Did you know that you can just delete things? See, I think that... Oh, hello? Girl. Girl. Okay, so why is it mad? Oh, I get it. I'm so goofy. This is the... Okay, this is implementing the method on this struct that has a lifetime. Hee hee. Haha. Yeah. You're so right. You know what, chat? I knew you knew that. I knew you knew that. That was my bad. You know. Why the sunglasses? My eyes are kind of irritated today and very sensitive to light. So we got sunnies on. I had an ice pack on my head earlier, but it's all feeling better. Slowly but surely. But it is still, I think, too bright for... Yeah, it's a little too bright still for me to take these off. So I think these are just on for the whole stream. Because I am also going to end stream soon. All right. One special lifetime that we need to discuss is static. Ooh. That means that it can live for the entire duration of the program. Chat was ahead on that. So smart. Live for the entire program. All string literals have the static lifetime, which we can annotate as follows. Alrighty. I will actually write down that example because, again, this syntax is kind of funky. And this will help me remember according to science. Does it help if you dim the light or make it warmer? If I dim the light, you won't be able to see me. That's the thing. If I wasn't streaming right now, I probably wouldn't need the sunglasses. But for dramatic flair, no, I'm just kidding. Because I have a key light in my face, I can't do that. Do you learn by typing? You learn by applying. And or summarizing, recontextualizing, whatever. Part of what makes handwritten notes so effective is that you have because it takes more time. You end up having to summarize things, which means your brain thinks about it a little bit more to think about how can I make this more condensed. That is part of it. There's also other research to suggest that even just using something physical has more value than even having like a tablet and stylus. I actually have a video that'll cover my paper note stuff. Yo, Rimbly, thank you so much for the 6 months at tier 1. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I hope you are enjoying the streams. Okay. I think we'll do basically just this one, maybe a couple more chapters. I don't really know what this task. Okay, so those are all tasks starting at 14. So maybe we'll do 14 and then I'll stop on the stream. Okie doke. Mm-hmm. Also, for this person that was asking about how do you justify learning syntax in the era of AI, it is also very helpful in a language to know where things will fail or go wrong, because sometimes you can get these crazy like runtime issues. I'm trying to remember what the name of that kind of bug is called. But basically where it's like some unexpected behavior happens every once in a while when your program runs, and it has to do with how the language, is, storing different things, and or like what's happening in compilation time versus runtime and stuff like that. No, race condition, and also there's a name for that kind of bug, and it's kind of hold on, I can probably find it. It's like a German name. No, it's like a, or like, what is it called? It's like, oh, this is gonna drive me insane. Oh, a Heisenberg. A bug that seems to disappear or change its behavior when you try to study it or debug it. There's that one. Oh, no, Schrödinger is also Schrödinger bug also. A bug that does not manifest until someone reads the source code and realizes it never should have worked. Oh, wait, no, those are fun. A bug so complex and convoluted that its behavior appears chaotic or non-deterministic. So I think it's the Heisenberg is what I was thinking of. I mean, no, but it wasn't even that. It was something else. I can't remember what it was called. This was a more senior developer taught me this term, and I can't remember. What's even the point? Yeah. Heisenberg, let's go. YouTube chat new. Icarus new. Actually huge. But yeah, it can be really good to know what's happening at compile time versus runtime for different languages that you're going to be working with. Alrighty. Most of the time, the problem is attempting to create a dangling reference or a mismatch of available lifetimes. Okay, so it's basically just saying don't use static as a blanket fix for lifetime errors, basically. Generic type parameters, trade rounds, lifetimes, all in one function. Generic type T can be filled in by any type that implements the display trait as specified by the where clause. Yes. Okay. Okay. We got a task. We have a task. Let's do it. Okay, try to get this compiled by reading the error message and the suggestion below to fix it. Fix without deleting this line. Okay. The coordinates are, we've got P point, here we go. Value is being used after being moved. At some point, need the hints. It says a partial move happened in the match statement. Ref keyword. Oh, this is an option. I don't remember. Hold on. We'll just get it mad at me first, and then it'll say. And then it'll be so mad. It'll be so mad. Okay. Value partially moved here. Partial move occurs because the value has a type point which does not implement the copy trait. Oh, so I have to do what? Like match dot clone or something? Does it not do that either? Wait, no, cloning exists. Trait bounds are not satisfied. Unsatisfied trait bounds. Okay, so it doesn't implement clone. Yeah, with derive clone. I can't remember. I just did this yesterday. It just still not copy. Yeah. Help our binding the pattern. What is it? Copy? I can't remember how to copy. I don't remember. I remember nothing. Okay. Okay, at some point, it's getting... Wait, I'm gonna get it to run again. Partial move because value has a type point which does not implement the copy trait. Borrow this binding in the pattern to avoid moving the value. Okay, so it even tells me here. It's so good. I love that the compiler tells you so much information. It's actually so nice. Okay. I kind of understand why. I feel like a lot of the tasks come across very like vague. Then I realize I'm like, you just see what the compilation errors are, or the run errors, all of them, all the errors. I used to hate the compiler, now I love it. It's so they're really good error suggestions. Actually, kind of unreal. Okay, expected a named lifetime parameter. Because there are two parameters here, I need to add a named one. And it literally is even suggesting, you can see that, right? It's suggesting a solution. That's so sick. Burp, 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 burp. It is and a. This one's also gonna be and a. And then this one I think also has a little. See, you don't need to memorize syntax. Just listen to, just do as you're told. Just do as you're told by the compiler. What's up with the glasses? I have a eye strain thing, sensitivity to light right now. Oh, the chicken's here. Yo, buck, buck, buck. Hi, chicken. Let's freaking go. The chat pet is back. They go buck, buck, buck. Most of the time it gives you the actual answer. Yeah, it's so good. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Oh my gosh, wait, they're a whole rooster today. That's actually huge. Bienvenue, l'ermite. L'ermite. Bienvenue. But English only so that the moderators can moderate. En anglais, s'il vous plaît. Pour les modérateurs. I don't know if that's actually what they are in French. TBH. Something could go here. Actually huge. String 2 does not live long enough. The borrowed value does not live long enough. Yes. So I can just... I can do this. I don't know if that's actually what it wanted me to do. TBH. Oh. Oh, it just said let string 2. Okay, so I could have kept the definition or the assignment in there. Okay, no problem. Thank you, thank you. Is there Emacs mode on JetBrains IDEs? I use evil mode even in Emacs, so I'm using Vim keybinds right now. So many layers of evil. What platform are these exercises on? Oh, I thought I pinned it. Hold on. I think it might have timed out. I have a command, learn Rust, that I will post. And then Nightbot's going to reply, and it's going to tell you, this is JetBrains Academy, so this is actually using the Rust Rover IDE right now. They have basically like courses to learn different programming languages built into the IDE so that you can, in real time, change the examples and see what errors you get and stuff like that, which is really nice. So far, it's been a really engaging experience. I've really liked it. It's free as well, all of it. The course itself and the IDE and everything as well. Don't tell me you use Vim keybinds and Emacs. Is this not treason-like behavior? Listen, I'm on Doom Emacs and life is good. Doom Emacs, life is simple. Life is good. Life is like a Studio Ghibli movie. Okay? That is the vibe. Okay, lifetimes for structs with references. Oh yeah, okay, so these all need to have the same, A. This one, I think I need to, hello? Hello? Are we good? And then I think that's it. Yay, yippee! We did it! We learned lifetimes, even with a migraine or headache or whatever this fun experience is. Yippee! It's rare to see women who code. That's because there's only 5% of all developers are women. South Korea, actually, well, this is probably maybe potentially outdated. As of 2024, I think it was. South Korea had the largest percentage of programmers that were women in the world. Out of all countries in the world, highest percentage. But the average is 5%. It's crazy. At Meta, it was like 50% in my org. There's no way. Software developers? That, I mean, honestly, their DEI going crazy. Yippee! Okay. Wow, we did it all. We did it, absolutely all of it. Okay, traits, trait bounds, generic lifetime parameters. You're ready to write code that do things. You learned about lifetime annotations to make sure that the flexible code won't leave any dangling references. All of this analysis happens at compile time, which doesn't affect runtime performance. Yeah, the compiler is actually unreal. Sounds like the 5% all work at Facebook and Google. Yeah, let's freaking go. And then me, the other 1% is on YouTube. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to listen to your rules anymore. I don't want no rules. Let me make my own rules. I'm gonna learn Rust now. I'm not hitting your AI usage KPIs, okay? I'm gonna go lie down. We're gonna learn some Rust. Yippee! All right. Believe it or not, there's a lot more to learn on these topics. Yeah, I believe it. Okay, chapter 17 on the book discusses trait objects, which are another, oh my gosh. We didn't even get into that. Trait objects? What? Question mark? Hello? I'm gonna make it orange so I know. This is a whole other side quest. I was the only woman in my jobs for so long. But I think that's also because it was like I always worked with like fairly small teams. My wife is a programmer too. She's definitely smarter than I am. Can she come hang out? I want to hang out with more women in tech. Can we hang out? All right. Next, we'll learn how to write tests in Rust. You can make sure your code is working the way it should. Yes, that's actually sick. How did you get started in programming? When I went to university, I was trying to figure out what major I wanted to do, like when I was applying for universities, and then I applied to a bunch of different stuff because I thought I would maybe do something healthcare adjacent, but I knew that I really liked tech. I had never done any programming. I didn't know any adults that like worked in tech or did anything related to tech. But I knew I was interested in electronics and stuff and computers. And so I was like, what is computer science? I don't even know what that means. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then I did. And that was the first time I ever coded, was in university. Icarus says some of the women in tech are great. Some are really weird. I mean, yeah. I think it do be like that. I think it do be like that. Same for the guys. True. What's with the shades where you get the eye doctor? I'm very sensitive to light right now, and I have a nice big bright light for the stream. Yeah. Everyone's weird. Yeah, we got some weirdos in tech. All right, you guys. I think that is all we're gonna do with Rust today. This is the stream, the end of the stream. Definitely I struggled with Rust because I'm too dumb for it. For what it's worth, I don't think that you can be too dumb to code. I think you can be too dumb to do cryptography. I think you can be too dumb to do cryptography. I mean, that stuff is scary. Okay, I read that and I'm like, I feel like I did a decent amount of math in university, not by choice, by force. Okay, I was forcibly did a lot of math in university, and I'm like, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. But I think it's literally just exposure of like it's just familiarity. It's like, oh wait, I've seen this error like 10 times because I've broken this thing the same way 10 times. I know how to fix this. Don't worry. All right, you guys. Let's jump off somewhere. Let's find someone to raid. Wait until you get into some machine learning papers. Uh-oh. I haven't really been reading any academic papers in a long time for programming. I should. So I really like Science Daily. Do any of you guys read Science Daily? We are going to raid somebody. I'm just going to find a channel to raid. Have any of you heard of Science Daily and or use it? It's basically, it'll take the latest peer-reviewed like research papers that are being published, and it'll kind of summarize it in more of like a article format. And it's completely free to access and everything, which is really nice because a lot of academic papers are paywalled. But it's great because it gives you like a nice kind of summary of, you know, what the tests were that they conducted, the conclusions, like, you know, all of it. So I really, really like Science Daily. So if you're ever looking for something fun, it is a human, I believe it's human summary. It's been a thing for a very long time. I used to read, when I was deep in my fitness era, I used to read daily papers on the latest in sports and nutrition. It's called Science Daily. But they have whole sections for tech and everything like that. But yeah, I really like it. I think that is a great source of news if you are looking for kind of like the latest news of what's going on. Oh, Lithium, thank you so much for that kind message. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for the 200 biddies. I hope you all have a great rest of your day as well. I currently have now the hardest decision of all time, which is figuring out where to send you. I might just keep sending you to the animals. Okay? Maybe we just go to the animals again. I think we're raiding Alveus Sanctuary forever until one of my mods or VIPs has somebody that they want me to raid. We're gonna keep raiding the animals. And then I think I might, oh wait, I think I figured out how to do this on YouTube last time. I'm gonna send YouTube over to them as well, somehow, some way. Yes, I found it. Okay. Oh, hello? Animal Ambassador live stream. All right, so when it ends, if you're on YouTube, it should redirect you to the same stream that Twitch is going to. So you can go say hello to all of the animals, but I really appreciate you guys hanging out today, and thank you for bearing with me while I had a little bit less energy and a little bit less eye contact than usual. But I hope you guys enjoy the streams. We'll be back on Wednesday and Thursday, and yeah, you can join the Discord if you want to stay up to date on timing, because as you can tell, today I was like 20 minutes late. Sometimes I'd be late, and usually I tell the Discord first. They are feeling better, my eyes, so I'll probably continue doing some rest stuff today, and I'll catch you all next time. See ya. Bye-bye. Enjoy the animals. Goodbye forever. Until Wednesday. Forever till